What is up, guys? UZXCrimsonAvenger here, back to another video. This time around, I got you something that's pretty much supposed to be out a while ago. Here are my top 5 games of 2022. Let's get started. Number 5, Azure Striker Gunvolt 3. This game has been on my radar for quite some time. From experience in playing the past 2 games in the Luminous Avenger X games, this one has been the most Mega Man Zero to me. And what I mean by that is basically like you have Kieran, who is a talisman throwing, sword wielding priestess, and most of the gameplay that she does reminds me of that Zero and ZX games. There was some tweaks here and there, so yeah, pretty much a Mega Man Zero game to an extent. But as a Gunvolt game, what about the character Gunvolt? Is he still around? Well, most likely, yes, he still is, but at the same time, not. Since Kieran's the main focus, you get to play Gunvolt for a limited amount of time unless you unlock a game mode that's a place where you can specifically play as Gunvolt. In this game, Gunvolt is stupidly broken. Like, he's not really taking much damage. He's pretty much destroying everything he touches. One of the only drawbacks is that if he I forgot the requirements, but if you take so long playing as him, you will end up destroying the world and it's pretty much game over. So in this game, they pretty much nerfed Gunvolt in a sense, but they nerfed him in a sense with the players, so they just not over here traversing the main gameplay levels and just destroying everything in sight, which is a pretty good thing. Hate to like put Kieran to the side, but let's go back to her real quick. Kieran, she's like one of the fun characters to play as in this game, like compared to the other iterations of Gunvolt, and then you have Copen. Yeah, she is definitely one of the most fun out of the 3. Even when epilogue story Attempts came out as a DLC, I would say that Kieran is still the most fun out of play, even with Zed still there, or should I say included. But enough of that. The story is it's decent, but at the same time, like I had my criticisms with it in the past, which I'll probably show in the top right corner. But this story is kind of yikes to a degree. But the only thing I managed to get out of this game is how fun it is regarding the gameplay. So in the music, it's still pretty good. It's a hit or miss for some. Like you probably hear one of my favorite tracks playing in the background right now, known as the Cyber Kowloon. There are 2 versions of it. There's the GV version and the Kieran version, or should I say the base Kieran version. But for this song in particular, I always go for the GV version. I know it sounds like I'm rushing it a bit, but trust me, I'm pretty much saying what I would love to say about this game. Is that like the gameplay is fun, the story's kind of the characters can be a hit or a miss. Gameplay is still fun without a doubt. But I say the only thing about this game that I love is the fact that gameplay is improved from the previous series. So, moving on to number 4, Pokemon Scarlet. For this being the 3rd Pokemon game I've played and owned, and I gotta say I'm not disappointed. The Pokemon here in the Paldea region are pretty cool, and I'm glad I get to own a few of them. Well, obviously my favorites would be Armarouge and for the Scarlet exclusive Koraidon. Man, Koraidon is the goat in this game, and I was surprised to find that you can actually ride them in this game. If you're playing Violet and you're riding Miraidon, but like it's pretty cool to see that like you get to ride your legendary Pokemon in the games into certain areas or where you need to go. Speaking of certain areas, like the map is, I don't want to say the map is huge, but it's pretty expansive. It gives you a lot of stuff to do. But like when starting off, it's like you can't be like you can't expect to be this hot shit and just like go anywhere around the Paldea region and expect to just beat everything in one go. Well, depending on what you're doing, I recommend not to really just go to like the harder areas, because like I mean you will get your shit dropped. That's pretty much a given. If you really want to, I recommend you not. I can tell you for sure that you will not get bored playing Pokemon Scarlet, because there's so much to do in this game. Like, you have terror raids, you can battle with your friends, you can trade with your friends with anything, like Pokemon or certain items of the Pokemon that they're holding. I find that pretty cool. Or you can actually join up with your friend for those terror raids that I mentioned a second ago. What else you can do? Hell, you can even race around each other's worlds if you want to. That sounds like something awesome to do. And then again, you have, like, obviously the gym battles, the Team Star events, the Titan events, and helping, I forgot his name already, but helping do feed sandwiches to his dog so he can feel better. Also, those sandwiches can help your legendary, like, gain more abilities, or gain some of his abilities back, so you'll be able to traverse through the region better, in terms of like flying, swimming, running faster, etc., etc. There isn't one specific thing that I enjoyed about Pokemon Scarlet. It's pretty much everything. I had a wonderful experience with this game, and hopefully in future Pokemon games I'll be able to enjoy the same as well. Will I be able to play any other Pokemon games that's like before the 3 I played? Maybe in the future. If I do, most likely I'm going to end up playing Pokemon Black. I think it was either Black or White, but I forgot. But I heard the story gets praised a lot from those games. So on to the next. Number 3, Sonic Frontiers. 2022 was the year of Sonic's comeback. That year was when Sonic came out of the drought, of the ditch, of anything that Hedgehog was buried under, because he is back. Sonic Frontiers was the game that pretty much broke the cycle for Sonic. Well, then again, if you want to go farther than that, it's pretty much the Sonic moves that did him justice. It was really just the games at this point that was like, man, can Sonic come back? And he succeeded. It's a great day that I found out that everybody is loving Sonic Frontiers. Of course, not every game is perfect, so I'll go ahead and just address some of those problems that people experience. Like, for example, well, the only major thing that I hear people talk about is like, oh yeah, the pop-ups you see when traversing through the islands, but it never really bothered me much. It just prompted me to just jump on a rail and just keep on going. I mean, that's how I see it. The story this time around is written by comic book writer Ian Flynn. He's currently working on the Sonic comics of IDW, and I'm really enjoying it. As far as, like, some people have a problem with storytelling because, like, he's referencing things that happened within past Sonic games, but like for this, I didn't really mind that. It feels like a refresher for the games. That's it for me. I say it's like, okay, yeah, these characters within the games remember past events, and they're acknowledging that, which really puts a smile on my face. The story's not too bad. It's a good start off the way, like, it gives you more origins of the Chaos Emeralds, which is something that Sonic's never had before. Moving on to like the gameplay and stuff, like, oh, there's so much to talk about, but for the sake of this video, I was going to mention that, like, the gameplay is something that, like, it's something that it can be touched upon and reused in future games, and just like pretty much add some tweaks here and there to make it more enjoyable. Not that I'm saying it's not like a huge problem, but it could work with a few stuff here and there. Oh, Super Sonic, he's such a glory to play. The bosses are a nice touch. The way how Super Sonic is utilized, the music is great. The stages are, well, some of them anyway. I hate Chronos Island. Is it Chronos? No, Chaos Island. Excuse me. Like this, I don't know what's good I can say, but I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Number 2, God of War Ragnarok. Getting to play God of War Ragnarok was a treat this time around, as I could finally witness Kratos and Atreus' relationship as a family grow closer together. Yeah, there were some bumpy roads up and down along the way, but they were actually managed to come together, talk things out, and managed to work things out as like the world around them is starting to fall apart. And oh boy, there's so much like that could be said. But let's say it like this: God of War Ragnarok is basically like Kratos' redemption arc come to a full close. Well, you could probably say that with the last game, but with this one, I feel like between him and Atreus, it's really nice. I had a few tear sheds along the way, especially like when pretty much it's all gonna be just like me praising Atreus and Kratos coming together. Not only that, but like other characters like Freya joined our side. She works with us. It sucks that like some characters like that we lost, like Brock, we lost him, which is highly unfortunate, which causes Sindri to go through his own revenge plot, which he managed to succeed in doing, but unfortunately it doesn't make it better for him, since he's mad at Kratos and Atreus for basically getting his brother killed, which is highly unfortunate once again. The stuff I'd rather say is the gameplay hasn't really much changed. I mean, yeah, you've been given new mechanics, or should I say new tweaks to mechanics and new upgrades to your weapons, and even new weapons to boot. The score, not much I can say about the music. I'm just pretty much like, yeah, they play here and there. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm pretty sure they're good. I just really haven't just pay attention and listen to them like that. And let's just say the voice acting, the voice acting is still top notch. It will never miss in some parts, especially for me. As far as that, I can say, let's go ahead and move on to number one. Number one, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. One word to describe Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is phenomenal. And you might hear me say this a lot throughout the rest of this segment. So with the game being like pretty much the end of the Cloud saga, if you want to call it that, this game is like, you will have to play 1 and 2 to like get context of of what's going on in 3 to the extent. And man, let me tell you, it's been a fun ride. Like the party of this game, they're wonderful. They're one of the best cast party members I've ever met in the JRPG in my life. I can't even pick a favorite. I love all of them: Noah, Mio, Senna, Lance, Tyon, Uni, Dan Pond. I'm calling them that. And I forgot her name that quick. But moving on a little bit, the music is amazing. The world is this nice. I keep trying to prevent myself from saying the same word twice. It's just like the word I keep thinking is phenomenal. Like, what else can I say about Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Yeah, obviously there are flaws, but throughout the year 2022, I really loved that game. Before the others came around, Xenoblade 3 kept me company. Like, it was like watching a movie or your favorite anime. It kept you on your toes. It made you love the characters. The songs kept you hyped. It made you laugh. It made you cry. It made you smile. Everything what I just said, it pretty much just described as Xenoblade Chronicles 3. In terms of the gameplay, it's something you have to get used to, but it's really fun, and I'm really glad I got the chance to witness this spectacle of a game. And this is why the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is my #1 favorite game of 2022. Alright guys, without further ado, I'm just going to end it there, because I feel I ran up. Like, there's stuff I more want to say, but like, I don't want to keep jumping around, since this is pretty much a non-scripted video. But this is UZXCrimsonAvenger, and don't lose your way. Peace.